Hello and welcome to Friends with Deficits. I'm Adam Sultan, and my first friend, at least for this podcast, is Jeff Hoskins. He's an engineer, a drummer, and a longtime pal. Thankfully, I was able to use his studio expertise, and some of his liquor for this recording. Jeff's had this degenerative eye disease called Stargardt's disease for about 6 or 7 years now. We talk about that and a bunch of other stuff after a little period of getting settled in, as Jeff had to both engineer and be interviewed for this, so we're kind of stumbling around getting our foothold. So here it is, the eye-opening conversation I had with Jeff Hoskins. Well, we can let it roll for a long time, actually.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well, we should make a drink first.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Yeah, sure. Can you tell, what do our waveforms look like?
Waveforms look nice.
They look healthy?
They look healthy.
Unlike me.
But I'm going to try to convince you. Egg yolk.
I'm not going to do it. I can't.
Okay, well then, can we make two, and I'll do one the
Sure.
proper way?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you have an egg?
Yes.
Okay, good. Do you not eat eggs, or are you vegetarian, like you don't eat them?
I eat eggs, but I still can't completely get away from the fact that they came out of a chicken's cloaca. Cloaca? What is it called?
It's called a vagina, Jeff. All right, so this is Old Mr. Boston's The Eye Opener cocktail.
The eye opener. That means it's a daytime drink.
Hey, it could be, yeah. It's got 2 ounces of Mr. Boston imported rum. But we're going to use
We don't have that.
No, we're going to use Ganesh rum or rum.
Doesn't work that way.
Sure. It does. Ruined. So then it's got an ounce of curacao. And then, this is cool. Calls for a teaspoon of absinthe substitute. There's a lot of things in here with absinthe substitute, but they're all, I think back in the day that's when absinthe was illegal. So now we have the real thing. Hooray.
Have they made some changes that keep your brain from rotting, or is there?
No, you know what? The whole, I gotta look this up, the whole thing with it, Van Gogh went crazy. It's because, A, he was crazy, and he probably drank like 6, tons of that stuff.
It's been debunked, is what you're saying?
Yeah. It's not like, oh, we fixed absinthe.
I thought there was like, that they had fixed absinthe.
Nope. Royale Club. Oh my god.
That's the creme de cacao.
Creme de cacao. Wow, a teaspoon of this, too. This is fucking exciting. A half a teaspoon confectioner's sugar. And shake that shit to cracked ice. Okay.
Sit down. How about there?
Oh,
No, it's too far.
an eye-opener cocktail for you.
What are you going to call this?
It's, what, the drink?
The podcast, because I think what you're going to want to do is like have it be an afternoon drinking series.
Did I not tell you my idea for what I want to call it?
Nope.
Friends with Deficits.
Go for it. Oh, man. Cheers.
Friends with Deficits.
Well,
It's pretty all right.
I'm impressed.
It's very licorice-y.
Yeah, I think.
Very.
Well, it's got the
yes.
absinthe. That's that business, and somehow
Yeah.
that creme de cacao.
It didn't really cut through as much as I thought it would.
Well, I smelled it, and it smelled also like it was licorice-y. So maybe it's not like chocolatey. Maybe it's some other.
No, it is. I tried
Oh,
it.
you did?
I'm kind of thinking maybe like a touch more cacao.
All right, next our second one.
Another one of these? I don't know. I still got to go to work. Well,
what do you want to talk about?
it's your fucking podcast.
All right. Well, tell me. Well, I want to know about Stargardt. You know what I thought this was? Stargardt. I keep calling it that, but it's Stargardt.
Yes. Oh, you must have looked it up.
I did. I had to do some research.
I'm curious. I want to know what you learned.
I'm not going to get into like the gene shit because I don't know. All I know is it's a macular degenerative disease that causes partial or more fuller blindness, and it's caused by a gene mutation. Maybe some guy named Stargardt either discovered it or had it.
Yes, it was German.
German. What does Stargardt mean? Do you know?
That's his name.
I know, but do you think it means something? Like
Oh,
like Miller or something?
yeah.
You know,
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
Stargazer.
Guy,
it means stargazer.
Stargazer. Mr. Stargazer. Stargardt.
So yeah, I've like got a lot of central field loss right now. So I tend to I can see a little better out of the sides. So I ride my bike with my head cocked a lot of the time.
So so you have better peripheral vision?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
And is that normal for it? Is it it affects the front part of the eye?
There's some loss on the side, but if you look at the photographs of the retina, like you see like these yellow flecks, which are blind spots, and like it's really littered with those spots, like in the central, and then as it goes out, it's still got some, but a lot less.
How did you know you had this? Or
because my brother had already been diagnosed, and then one day I was riding my bike to work, and I realized that I was kind of having some depth perception problems with approaching cars, trying to figure out where they were. And so I called him up, and I spent, just a couple of minutes telling him like what my experience was like, and he just said, "Yeah, you have it."
Yeesh.
There was no question in his mind. He's like, "Yep, you got it."
How long did he have it?
Before he was diagnosed?
No, how long before you?
Oh,
Or before he
it was
diagnosed?
about a year and a half, and he's about a year and a half older than me, so.
Wow, okay. I read, though, that it affects people younger, like in their 20s.
I know. And that's one of the things that's that they're a little bit confused about. Because they're saying that it's Stargardt's and not just age-related macular degeneration, so.
Is it possible it's a misdiagnosis or something, or it's too
Sure.
specific?
I suppose it's possible.
What about one of your parents? Because isn't it hereditary?
It is, but it's a recessive trait, so they both have to be characters.
Oh, yeah.
They don't have any knowledge of it, but I guess on my mom's side, there was a great aunt who was blind.
Possible.
That's the only one I know of.
Yeah. Have you run it?
But I mean, you can carry like for generations. You can carry a mutated gene without it showing up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. How do they test you when you get it done?
Oh, they just took photos, took retinal photos, and then they had me do some vision tests.
Right.
Just like, what's different between these two houses?
Those are houses? What houses?
Yeah.
Right.
I thought that was a Snoopy lunchbox from 1972.
Oh, man. So you wear glasses, and you always worn glasses, right? Or for a while?
Most of my adult life. All my adult life.
Do they not make glasses with the lens, in the front? Or, well, I guess you'd always be moving. You'd have to move your head all at once. But, I mean, can a lens help?
The lens can help correct, problems with the shape of your eyeball,
Right.
That's what a lens does.
Yeah.
In general, it helps a little bit, but it doesn't help with the Stargardt's. It helps with the focus, which is different.
And does the degeneration look like, is it just like the light disappearing, like it's just getting darker in the center of your eye, or is it something else?
It's distortion.
Like blurriness?
No, like distortion.
You were talking to me about this before, like tripping out on some weird stuff. Is that like?
Yeah, like the whole pixelated tit face thing.
What is that?
Well, it was really funny. It was one of Mary's friends that I don't even really know well enough to make this joke, but I saw him and he said hi, and I said, "Oh, who is it?" And he said, "Oh, it's Chris." And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, your face looks like a pixelated tit." So I just go back to that one sometimes.
Oh my God. I guess there could be worse things than visualizing everybody as a pixelated tit. I did that anyway.
Yeah.
Really sharp pixels. So.
Yeah.
Oh man. And there was
no, this is some like 4-bit kind of shit. Really. It's just a bunch of squares.
And then when you talk about like your peripheral vision's okay though, so it's like you see something like that, does it either go like you blink and it goes away, or you have to turn your head to the side?
I can sometimes like I have to scan sometimes to see something. So, like, I lose things a lot of times that are right in front of me until I scan my head, and then I'm like, oh, there it is. It's confusing because you don't really think about what part of the eye you're looking at things with because it's pretty wide, right?
Yeah.
So you might see something that's a little bit off-center and not even think of it as off-center and just go, it's not there, you know. Does that make sense? I'm just saying, like, something could be 20 degrees to the left, and I might be able to see it, but then 18 degrees to the left, and it disappears. It's a really weird, like, quick kind of thing. Like the difference between fucked up and really fucked up. It's basically what I'm working with now.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Is it, and by disappeared, is it literally, does it just turn into a bunch of
It gets
distortion?
scrambled. Like, okay,
Yeah.
Cars,
Yeah.
gray, black, brown, dark colored, whatever, cars.
Mm-hmm.
The closer it is to the color of the asphalt, the more likely I am to get hit by it.
Shit.
So I have to scan a lot because that's how I get around
Wow.
on a bike. And I did have, like, I've had a few wrecks. Two of the worst ones have been running into those yellow dividers that are supposed to keep cars from going into the bike lane. There was one in Eugene that I ran into, and then I ran into the one in the convention center a few weeks ago.
Yeesh, I remember that. Ow.
Yeah, it's weird. Because I was riding forward. It was right in the center field of my vision, and I just fucking, like, didn't know what happened to me. I just all of a sudden, poof, just hit it.
Damn. Is it only affecting the front? Like, let's say it got worse and worse. Would the side? Would your peripheral vision still be okay?
They said I'll never have to have a guide dog or anything like that. I'll be able to get around.
Right.
I don't know. The thing with this, there's still hasn't been that much research. I mean, there has been, but a lot of it it's a pretty rare condition.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't get all the resources thrown at it like, you know, some other lamer thing like cancer, say.
Yeah. Exactly. I heard it's, what is it, like 1 in 30,000 people or something like that get it?
Is that right?
Crazy.
That's such a pisser.
I know.
That's pretty interesting. So how many people are in Austin these days? How many Stargardts
How many people
are there in town, you think?
1,800,000?
It's got to be 1 million now.
Yeah. So let's say it's 1 million. So you do the math for me.
300?
Yeah. That sounds like a lot, actually.
When you put it that way. Or is
yeah.
it 30? I don't know. I'm not much of a math guy.
Yeah, me neither. Here's a weird question. So you still work at Texas School for the Blind. Is there anything in your experience of that, or your history of that has either been of benefit to you now, or just given you insight, or just like, oh, that's interesting. I remember when
you know, one thing that's kind of weird is I think, like, the way that I deal with the students that I work with now is different from when I worked there years ago because, like, it's easier for me to empathize with them now.
Yeah.
And, like, I remember, you know, like, there's sometimes people like, oh, he's faking it because once he saw that cherry pie, he went straight for it. You know, it's like, you don't get it. It's like you don't get it that blindness doesn't mean just blackness.
Yeah.
It can, but yeah, most of the kids at the blind school have some kind of vision, even if it's just light perception. Mm-hmm. Most of them have something. There's some that don't have anything, but that's just sad.
Yeah.
I feel, actually, I don't feel lucky. Well, I do. I kind of do. I mean, I'm handling this.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying I couldn't do a better job, but I'm mostly figuring out ways to keep functioning. A lot of it involves asking favors, which I don't like doing. But
Yeah.
hey, sorry.
Yeah.
Help me. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm
so sorry.
That ain't no crime.
Yeah.
God, by any means.
Yeah.
Do you remember did you ever wear the goggles or the glasses that they had at TSB, which would knock out your center vision so you only could see peripherally or whatever?
Well, we had to go to the mall wearing full blinders
Oh, yeah.
with
I
a
never did
guide
that.
who we had to trust. That was one of the whole things. Like, they wanted you to feel not only what it's like to be completely blind, but to have to surrender all of your trust to somebody that you might not even know. And so anyway, Joey, this guy Joey,
I'm waiting for this.
he got written up because he was a sight guide, and he had his quote unquote blind person like feeling off a mannequin in the mall, or like.
As a joke?
He's like, oh, check this out. What is this? And he put the guy's like hand on the mannequin's breast and ass, and just kind of moved him around. Which,
I guess we better make another drink.
do I want to really get started now? Because
maybe you don't.
the night's pretty young.
But I was just sort of speaking on
I need to loosen up more.
facetiously. But we also don't have, we're still halfway through these drinks. And they're tasty. I think.
It's pretty tasty,
I think
yeah.
it's pretty tasty. It's kind of, yours looks a lot cleaner. Mine's got that.
Well, yours has been dirtied up with chicken jizz.
I'm sure this would have been good without the powdered sugar or the egg. Just back then, whenever old Mr. Boston was bartending, it seems like things
Here's
were
a thought. The creme de cacao is super sweet.
Yeah,
And I kind of feel like it could use a little more of the chocolate flavor.
right.
You could eliminate the sugar and double the choco.
That's a good idea. Boom. All right, the next one will be like
The
that.
next one will be like
and
that.
no chicken jizz
Nothing.
either. That would
I
be
have some imitation chicken tenders. If you want that for a snack.
bad. Imitation ones. That might be good.
I kind of like some of the fake meat shit. And I
Yeah.
can't defend it. I know a lot of people think,
What do you mean you
Yeah.
can't defend it? If you
well, I mean, there's the argument that if you're a vegetarian, why would you want something to be
yeah.
like meat? But it's not even really like, I'm not even really thinking of chicken or whatever.
Yeah,
It's just good.
Just tastiness. Yeah. That brings up a topic.
It's your own fault for having Stargardts because you should have been.
Exactly. I heard
You didn't get enough iron.
Meat cures Stargardt.
You
No, but
didn't-
I'm curious about diet or medicine or those kind of things that can treat it.
Well, it's really funny because I always have people come up to me and, they have like these weird folk remedies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Have you tried rubbing a squid on your eyeball? I mean, I hear it really works.
You mentioned a saffron thing, test or
I
study.
forgot about the saffron.
How can you forget about saffron?
I need to get some saffron threads.
Is it true though?
I don't know.
Did you read that somewhere? Or
Yes.
As a folk remedy thing or something that's
No,
been,
as like a
trial?
medical, something that's, they've studied.
Oh. Stargardt sounds like, I imagine it like this description of like how your vision looks like I don't know. Because you used to describe like blue, like flashes of things.
You know what? I get blue flashes when I have been out in the sun a lot. Like on a sunny day.
Okay.
It's like overexposure to intense light.
Huh.
Like, and then it's weird. And then that night, when I close my eyes, like I get these blue flashes.
It just goes on? How long is it sustained?
For a couple of minutes.
Huh.
And you know what's really funny is like at first I was freaked out, but now I'm able to just sit back and enjoy it. It's a beautiful blue.
Really?
It's a most intense blue. Yes.
Huh.
It's like kind of beautiful, actually.
Wow. Do you feel a sense of bliss or anything when you see that color?
It's a little bit of consolation prize. It's like, it's not as good as sight, but I'll take it.
Is it as good as sex? I have a friend who maybe I should have on this podcast who has synesthesia and tells me she has cerulean blue orgasms.
What?
I know. What if it's the same shade of blue?
Wait a second. Maybe I should look that up. Cerulean blue.
Yeah. Is that how you pronounce it?
What does that look
cerulean?
like?
I don't know. I can look it up on this. So here's the saffron thing. May induce a short-term significant improvement in retinal function in early AMD. What's AMD?
Something macular degeneration.
Oh, yeah.
Adult macular degeneration?
Maybe. If you knew, or do you take anything for it?
No.
Are you advised to? Like any kind of diet or supplements?
There's a lot of weird stuff. I mean, I remember like being told like to not eat a lot of grapefruit. It's like, what are you talking about? Seriously? Like, yeah. I don't think I'd eat enough grapefruit to really cause any harm. So
I did hear,
I'd go ahead and have it,
Yeah. I heard the vitamin A thing too is like normally good for your eyes, but in case of Stargardt's, that's the thing that causes some, or whatever helps process the waste from that doesn't work as well. So you end up with this buildup, and that's when you get that kind of degenerative funk. The scientific word for it.
Actually, this has kind of got me thinking. I hadn't really thought about this that much for some reason, but initially I kept up with research and, like what was going on in the scientific community with treating this. Mm-hmm. And at some point I just stopped. And I think maybe it's because like I don't see any point in getting my hopes up. I think really what I need to do is just continue to figure out ways to make things work. Because, yeah, okay, they may do some gene therapy thing in the future that will just fix it. But we don't know that.
Right.
So why bother? Like, I don't know. I just found it kind of...
Well, if it's something you can do now that's not a big deal, like either don't eat grapefruit or eat more saffron or something like that, whether you can kind of ignore your hopes about it and just make it a habit.
Well,
I would think.
I've never really cooked with saffron, so
yeah,
let's do this. Let's do this thing.
You can take them as supplements. Just take a saffron pill every morning with your Viagra. I don't know.
Yeah,
beats me. If I contact any kind of experts, I'll let you know.
Okay.
What I come back with.
Well, in some early trials, and I haven't checked this in a couple of years, but they had some really great success with, injecting the missing gene into people's retina, and basically growing a new retina, which is nutty.
Yeah.
But apparently that's worked at least a couple of times. And according to my brother, who's in genetics, so I don't know, but he said that, those kind of things, the FDA takes a long time to approve them sometimes because they want to wait and see who's getting cancer from it and stuff like that, you know? So
is he doing anything?
No.
So is he of the same opinion then? Just like kind of like...
Well, no, I mean, he keeps up with it a lot more. I think he's just generally... I think that's his field is genetics, so...
Yeah.
It makes sense that he would keep up with it more than me.
But he's just keeping up with the research, but not nnecessarily like taking anything or doing anything.
I don't think he's taking or doing anything.
Yeah. Is his worse?
He's taking a bunch of free money from disability insurance, which is pretty cool. It's not going to happen to me.
Why? Because we won't have disability?
Exactly. He worked for the state for, I want to say 25 years, something like that.
So his
state of California.
Is his Stargardt's progressed a lot more than yours?
Well, it's hard to know. I mean, I don't see him that often, but I know he is essentially retired now from his work. I I think that's pretty hard for him because, it's like we all have things that we do that we kind of define ourselves with, and
Yeah.
he's out of the game now. This squeaky, I know.
I know. It's just like,
The squeakiness is part of the game.
Is it? Okay. That squeaky chair you hear.
No, I don't know.
Is that your eye squeaking? That's so weird. Is that one of the Simpsons?
It's one of those things, though, that you never really think about, but it's something that happens to people, like the idea of no longer being independent doesn't really jive with our Western way of thinking. We're all so individualistic and everything, and it's like,
And then when we're not, we just shove you off into a little home somewhere or something. Yeah. Or the street.
But all the things, that I've done for our house, a lot of those things I couldn't do anymore, like construction things. I helped wire the house and the studio and just that kind of stuff.
For what it's worth, those are things I'll never be able to do in my entire life. So you're like the consummate handyman.
Well, it's really all boils down to not being afraid of stuff. But now I'm afraid of all kinds of stuff.
Shit. Has it been, I guess, gradual, or were you like, was there a sudden moment of shock?
There was a sudden moment of realization, but then it's been pretty. It seems to come in little waves, the loss. Mm-hmm. And I had a really major vision loss starting like 6 months ago and maybe ending like 4 months ago. There's like a couple of months where I just felt like I really lost a lot. There was like a quick period of decline that kind of leveled off.
Okay. What do you think it would leveled off? Is it just any way of knowing?
Only Jesus knows the answer to that.
Like nothing changed though, like diet or exercise or something.
Everything's the same.
Does it seem to be going in that, like in waves like that?
It seems like it, yeah.
Huh. And now you're in a level.
I feel like I am. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. No pun intended. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. What's the most challenging thing about Stargardt?
Sewing. Fixing clothes.
Seriously?
Well, it's one of the many things that's on hold right now. I've got all this shit that needs to be sewed,
Man,
and I can't do
so much stuff. I never sew anything. I don't know.
What do you do when something breaks?
I buy a new shirt. Well, I don't know. I don't know what kind of sewing you mean. I don't darn my socks.
Buttons.
Buttons.
I got to put some buttons on.
Yeah.
You want to do that right now?
How many buttons you got?
You know what? I'll try to do it as we're talking.
Should I make another drink while this is happening?
Sure.
Hey there. While I'm making that drink, perhaps you could visit patreon.com/friendswithdeficits. Why? This podcast needs support to keep running and to produce and record these episodes, and I'd love to see that happen and continue to happen. So visit Patreon, patreon.com/friendswithdeficits, and find out how you can help support the show, as well as gain access to some exclusive digital content and other goodies. Thanks for listening. I think my drink's about ready now, so let's get back to business. Dude, this one's totally good, I think. That's a lot better, right?
Mm-hmm.
Get rid of the bullshit.
The egg is crap.
And powdered sugar, too. It's like, please. Like, you shouldn't put sugar in any drink that has a sugar liqueur in it. Unless you're right. Unless you're old Mr. Boston from the 1930s or whatever. So what do you think? What are the advantages, if any, of Stargardt? Or
I don't have to see your ugly face.
I know, it's a terrible question. But like, is there any, like, it's sort of like the bright side question. Like is there something that you see that honestly, like, it's given you any wisdom or way of looking at life, or there's actually something that you do better?
I think the only thing I could say that's good is that it's given me an appreciation for basic stuff that you take for granted, which is what happens anytime, like, something bad happens, right?
Right. I guess so.
Like when you lose someone.
Yes.
You tend to appreciate the people that are around you more and realize that they're not, that we're all temporary or whatever. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of been kind of been the thing with this. Like when I see somebody who's completely blind getting around with a cane or whatever, like I feel, like I don't feel as sorry for myself. You know what I mean? Because other people have it worse. So, in the grand scheme of things,
Okay.
it's not the end of the world.
That's good.
It may be the end of the world if I can finish this drink.
Jesus, I know.
Son
Day
of a-
drinking. This is rough.
Day drinking.
Day drinking
Come on.
Come on. What else do we have to talk about?
I don't know. I'm not really moving this thing along too well.
No, it's fine. I'm running out of steam myself.
You might have to try again.
That'd be fine. But
'Cause
I feel like we got a lot of information.
I'm
That's
that
good.
crappy.
No, it was awesome.
I'm crappy at everything I do or try, Adam. Come on.
Okay, yes, that's true.
What do you mean?
What?
What do you mean?
Nothing. You should get you playing drums though. That would be cool. If you want, since you're a drummer and all. Is drumming harder? Well, sing music, right? Obviously.
Yeah, that is kind of the weird thing. I never did that much sitting in with people, but I have done some of it. And like learning covers or whatever and trying to, remember song structures and stuff like that. Like, I just have to remember that now, but luckily I don't play with anybody, so who cares?
Should we kill this?
Probably.
I feel like we're going to degenerate. In this
Yeah,
one.
I haven't. Yeah.
You're sewing, and I'm
doing
drinking.
A terrible job. Look how awful that is.
I only laugh because you're right.
Yeah, see, okay, my point when I started to do this was that I can't do it. So that's been proven.
I'm just trying to imagine you like all done, and then like there's like this sleeve attached to like a pocket, like a collar, like a rolled up. Wait, let me see it. I could probably finish it up.
Frustrating. That's a throwaway?
That's a throwaway.
God
Don't
damn
throw
it.
away the shirt.
I know,
just
but
start over. It's not a throwaway. Just start over. That will be my gift. I will throw.
I tell you
throw
what
this- I
sucks
will
though
sew this
is
to you.
just trying to do stuff and not being able to. I hate that. I just do. It's like all the little things in your life that you don't think about. But more than like feeling sorry for myself, I just get frustrated. Like, God damn it.
Yeah.
So, ow. Just my thumb.
Seriously?
Doesn't matter. It's just my thumb.
You really need to use one of those
Thimble.
thimbles. Do you have thimbles on your drums, don't you? You get that?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, you got it.
Why do you want me to play drums?
Oh yeah, we need that too.
I can't really do that anymore.
No. Yeah, just play a beat.
You want like an Aquarius or a Scorp?
What are you talking about?
Talking about the beats of the Zodiac.
What's your sign?
Scorp.
Scorp. Do a Scorp Leo mix, because I'm Leo. Ladies and gentlemen, Scorpio and Leo.
I don't know. So yeah, living alone has been kind of interesting. I've been living alone for the first time in 12 years, like since January. And that's been kind of weird because Mary always helped me with all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What's this? Can you tell me if this has beef hearts in it? You know.
Is it? Do you get around generally, like without face planting or whatever? I know, like on a bike, it's a different story. But just like going around the house, is
Oh, I
it?
trip on stuff.
Do you feel generally safe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In my own environment, sure.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't feel that safe out and about.
Yeah.
I can't really tell a lot of times whether a light is green. I'm developing some red-green color blindness, which is kind of weird when it comes to little thing called traffic
Yeah,
lights.
heard about those. Yeah.
So a lot of times I'm just kind of paying attention to what traffic is doing. I'm totally going to die.
Don't say that. That would suck.
Well,
I mean, we're all going to die.
it's better than riding the bus, is what I say.
That's an ending for this thing.